Society has come a long way, and architecture has improved right alongside it. The Great Pyramid of Giza had the distinction of being the tallest building on Earth for over 3,800 years. After that, there was a long span where the world's tallest buildings were all religious institutions and churches, but not anymore. Now, the tallest buildings have nightclubs, five-star restaurants, and massive clocks inside of them. Today, we're going to take a look at the 5 tallest skyscrapers on Earth. We'll see exactly what they have to offer, why they were built, and how much it costs to make these mega structures. Number 5. Lot World Tower. Seoul is one of my absolute favorite cities, but I haven't yet had the pleasure of exploring its tallest building, and the 5th tallest building in the world, Lot World Tower. Construction began on the building back in 2010, and it wasn't completed until 2017, when it was opened in a massive ceremony that involved fireworks and an LED light show. Lot World Tower is 123 stories high and 1,824 feet tall, about 20 stories and 400 feet taller than the Empire State Building. The total construction cost $2.5 billion, and when you look at the building's construction, it's easy to see why. The foundation was cast with a 30-hour concrete placement that used 5,300 cement trucks pouring ready-mix concrete. There are core walls in the center of the tower, as well as 8 mega columns. 60% of the tower load is supported by the core walls, while the other 40% is supported by the mega columns. The building itself was designed with traditional Korean art forms in mind, including calligraphy, ceramics, and porcelain. The curved structure of the building is futuristic, but definitely harkens back to the curvature of traditional art forms. But inside, there's nothing old about the building. The first 10 floors belong to the Lot World Mall, which includes Lot Concert Hall, a venue that can seat up to 2,000 people. In addition, there's a kids' park, a jazz bar, and the most exciting of all, a massive aquarium. The aquarium has over 55,000 marine animals, including 650 different species. Things get a little more boring as you move up in floors, at least for a little bit. Floors 14 through 38 are offices. Floors 42 through 71 house private residences, which accounts for about 260 apartments with stunning views of the city. Floors 72 through 101 are home to the Lot Hotel, a 260-room hotel which is called a 7-star hotel by some. Floors 105 through 114 are private offices, although I have to say, I can't imagine working on the 100th floor of a building. Quite a view during your lunch break, I'd imagine. But floors 117 through 123 are the real spectacle, however. There, you'll find Seoul Sky, a multi-story recreational area with a dedicated observation deck. At the time the building was made, it was the highest glass-bottom observatory in the world. These floors have telescopes, a sky terrace, a lounge bar, and multiple media rooms. Number 4. Ping An Financial Center. Located a quick flight away from Shenzhen, China, Ping An Financial Center is the 4th tallest building in the world, clocking in at 1,965 feet with 118 floors. As impressive as that is, the building was actually supposed to be even taller. However, it was pared down due to aviation concerns. As the name implies, Ping An Financial Center was built primarily by and for Ping An Insurance. Construction began in 2009, but wasn't completed until April of 2015. These mega structures do require a bit of time, after all. This isn't Minecraft or Skyrim or whatever that building game is that the kids like to play. There are 33 double-deck elevators that service the many guests of the building. The crown jewel that brings most tourists to the building is the Free Sky, an observation deck that is 116 stories high, or 1,844 feet above the streets. There, guests can see a 360-degree view of Shenzhen after taking a quick 55-second elevator ride to the top. The fun section aside, the majority of Ping An Financial Center is office space. 15,500 employees work in the offices that span several of the floors. There are large conference halls, presentation theaters, and dozens of businesses that call the skyscraper home. In addition to the main building, there is a separate building known as the South Tower. The South Tower is home to a 5-star hotel and connects to the Ping An Financial Center via retail bridges. which are located on the 3rd through the 6th floor. Number 3. Abraj Al Bait Clock Tower. When you think of the most impressive, wealthy, and prosperous cities in the Middle East, chances are your mind drifts to Dubai or Riyadh. They seem like the cities that would be most likely to have super tall skyscrapers, and you're not wrong. We'll be visiting a skyscraper in Dubai later on our list. However, number 3 is located in a city that few think of as modern. In fact, the name of the city alone brings back thoughts of ancient times and thoughts of pilgrimages. That all being said, Abraj Al Bait Clock Tower is the 3rd tallest building on Earth, and it's located in Mecca. The building is part of a group of 7 skyscrapers, which include mainly hotels, and is 1,972 feet tall. And though the building complex is stunning, it wasn't created without controversy. It is located only meters away from the most holy site in Mecca, which is the most holy location in the world to several religions. It overlooks the Great Mosque of Mecca, but to be built, an 18th century Ottoman citadel known as the Ajyad Fortress was demolished. This caused quite a stir from thousands of people who thought it was immoral to demolish such a historically significant building. So, what was so important that the original building had to be demolished? Well, for starters, a giant clock. At the top of the tower, the world's largest clock overlooks the land. The clock face is visible from 16 miles away. The 4 faces measure 141 feet in diameter, with 75-foot-long minute hands and 56-foot-long hour hands. The faces are illuminated by 2 million ultra-bright LED lights and are surrounded by a gold facade. Arabic words that translate to "God is the greatest" are scrawled above the clocks, and the building was primarily made for just that reason. During holy days, thousands and thousands of people make the pilgrimage to Mecca. The buildings mainly serve as hotels to house these people, including a 5-star hotel by Fairmount Hotels and Resorts. In addition to those hotel rooms, there are also 2 large prayer rooms, one for men and one for women, that can hold more than 10,000 people. On the opposite end of the spectrum, there's a 5-story shopping mall if you're looking to get a new pair of sneakers. On the 4 top floors is a clock museum, which is actually more exciting than it sounds. There's a public viewing deck directly below the massive clock faces, hovering 1,831 feet above the ground and providing stunning views of the city. All in all, the building has a more exciting distinction than just having the world's biggest clocks. It is one of the most expensive buildings ever made, with a total construction cost of $15 billion. Number 2. Shanghai Tower. The 2nd tallest building on Earth also claims to be the greenest. Shanghai Tower, located in, you guessed it, Shanghai, China. It's a 128-story building that's an incredible 2,073 feet above the streets. The total construction cost was $2.4 billion, and for all that, they got quite a lot of real estate. The building is broken up into 9 separate zones that are divided between office, retail, and leisure space. All these separate zones are enclosed in an inner glass layer. Between that inner layer and the outer layer, there are 9 areas that serve as public space for visitors, which includes massive gardens, atriums, cafes, restaurants, and retail space. A common pastime for visitors is to grab a coffee at one of the many cafes and have a nice leisurely look over the city. And it was certainly worth the wait. Construction began in 2008, and the building wasn't finished until 2013, and it certainly was worth the wait. It took another 3 years before the observation deck was even open, and when you look at everything creating this building entailed, it makes a lot of sense. There are 107 elevators, and the building itself twists at a 120-degree angle, which was done to reduce wind loads, although it also looks pretty nice too. 10% of the electricity used is generated by one field of windmills. The water used is a combination of collected rainwater and reused wastewater. The heating and cooling system in the massive structure uses 40 different energy-saving measures, which the developers claim cut its annual carbon footprint by 34,000 metric tons. In the building, there are dozens of businesses. J Hotel is the highest hotel in the world, with a penthouse on the 109th floor. The 102nd through the 104th floor are home to themed restaurants and luxury restaurants alike. Throughout the several stories, there are boutique shops, spas, fitness centers, businesses, and office spaces throughout. The world's highest bookstore is also located on the 53rd and 54th floor, and on the 37th floor is an even more niche title winner, the world's highest traditional Chinese garden. Ooh, I know I'd like to take a stroll through that one. Number 1. The Burj Khalifa. The tallest building on Earth is none other than the Burj Khalifa, located in Dubai. The Burj Khalifa was part of a large plan to diversify the United Arab Emirates economy, straying away from the oil-based economy that has been standard for decades. And the result? A 2,722-foot tall building at the center of a large-scale mixed-use development space, which includes 30,000 new homes, 9 hotels, a large mall, and 3 hectares of parkland. For reference, its height of 2,722 feet is half a mile, and surprisingly, this building is one of the cheapest on our list, costing only $1.5 billion. When the building was unveiled in 2010, there was a giant ceremony that included 10,000 fireworks, light beams, and water effects from the fountain at the base of the tower. I was fortunate enough to be present at the time, and let me tell you, no one knows how to party like the city of Dubai. The unique design of the building was inspired by historic Islamic architecture, and the construction includes 57 elevators and 8 escalators, as well as 24,348 windows. This building is also home to the world's highest nightclub, and I'm not talking about the club Snoop Dogg has residency at. This club is located on the 144th floor of the Burj Al Arab, and like any other nightclub, the Armani offers ladies' nights, which brings wealthy individuals from all around the city. A few stories down on the 122nd floor, you'll find the world's highest restaurant. There are sky lobbies on the 43rd and 76th floors, which have swimming pools that give incredible views of the city. I tell you, that 76th floor pool is a spectacle indeed. There are 900 residential apartments, multiple observation decks, and hotels inside the Burj Khalifa, inviting tourists from around the world to enjoy just what Dubai has to offer. So, there you have it, the tallest skyscrapers on Earth. Which one should we go visit for the weekend? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Oh, and turn on post notifications. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to go take a quick ride in my elevator. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip to doodly doo.